Hello to Bout of Radness. I'm your host, Will Bazer, and I am going to be joined alongside by a few knuckleheads shortly. Actually, you know what? Why not right now? So let me go ahead and introduce one of our reoccurring guests. Some say he's best friends with a mongoose. Others say it's Chuck.
Oh, it's me.
Chuck, how are you doing?
I'm doing one. I am nursing an injury, so I'll be sort of just lean back and lounging all day. So that's the vibe I'm bringing to the show tonight.
Of course.
It's good energy. I really liked your intro announcer before too.
This is the next guy, he just got done performing some swingies and he decided, hell, why not show up for the stream too? It's Mr. Wes. Wes, how you doing?
You said I got done performing swingies, which is a miscommunication. I am still performing swingies. On the other side of this is a flung open bathroom door. And
next time that we record, I want you to sit in such a way that there's like a door frame in the camera frame.
Like a neon cursive
and we'll
sign
all
that
just
says
wonder
swingies above it, like a bar.
And there's like a towel hanging next to you.
Yes. It will be necessary. Like the next one who we're bringing on, there's a rumor going around that his nipples are not exactly where you would expect them to be. It's Alex, otherwise known as Blue Owl. Alex, how are you doing? Was that a better introduction?
Well, yeah, they're actually on my back, so...
I thought they were in Houston.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Oh, okay.
You're back
I'm just shoulders and head and I guess arm.
And the rest of you is in Houston.
Yeah.
Where your nipples are on the back of you.
Yes.
This makes perfect sense.
They're going to work you
it, but that would be, that would take the whole podcast.
We're going to have to work you into the scenario.
Yeah. You're approached by
as an eldritch
torso, and he leads with the back nipples.
Yes. The next one, the most important guy of the group, he's got a really bad case of buyer's regret from his last online purchase, and I'll just leave it at that. So to work that out, he's going to be hanging out with us. Mr. Tensoon. Looks like you're dealing with this introduction pretty well. How you doing?
Oh, it's going to be a good night.
Good. I'm great. This is probably better than your last purchase.
You keep saying that.
Yeah, it's between me and Tensoon. It's just you guys wouldn't understand. So you know what? I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and let's dive into Bout of Radness.
Hey, real quick before we do, can I just let everyone know that I am rocking this bad boy, the original, here in the office.
Frame that.
Very, very excited. I'm going to get that framed.
Chuck's going to start his own Slate art gallery.
I am.
In the
My
next
daughter
6
keeps
months.
asking about them, which means nightmares are just a few days behind us.
Right.
Also, before I throw us into Bout of Radness, everybody, we have quite a few things going on in the Ain't Slayed world. We have our podcast episode just dropped. The Call of Cthulhu dropped on Tuesday. Cup worked overnight to get that one out. It is the 17th installment of we've almost at a year and a half of episodes, y'all. That's pretty crazy.
November 2019 was our first recording.
That's crazy.
Or no, December was.
Yeah.
Was it really?
And we are at 17. We're almost there. We're almost at a year and a half. But that one dropped. We also have Wes's character, Jeremiah, a prequel, not the prequel, but a prequel of his character's. It is canon of his character's backstory, dropping. What is it? This week or the next week? Cup's gonna kill me.
I'm not making
Patreon.
Cup.
On the Patreon.
Yeah, I think it's later this month, but I don't know if he said when.
Later this month. I mean, but there was a meat trade episode, which is World War Cthulhu, run by the wonderful Scott Dward, who actually created this scenario that we're going to be playing today. He's running that. We have a couple reoccurring cast members there along with Cup. It's also on Patreon. It is wonderful listen. It's really worth the subscription there. So that's everything there. And if you guys want to chat with us on a day-to-day basis, go ahead and join us on the Discord channel. It's also a wonderful community there. So you guys can find all of us there. On that note, you guys ready? Let's go ahead and dive into Bout of Radness.
Before we start, can I tell you how betrayed
I got this
I
thing
feel
that I
right
can't
now?
get out of my head.
There's one more thing.
You know,
Should we just run it again? Should we just run Bout of Radness once more?
No. No one joined in the goddamn riff. And I thought we had a commitment.
I
Everybody
misunderstood
do
the
something.
timing of that.
Yeah,
I did too.
No worries.
I didn't get a countdown or anything.
We'll
so.
get it. We'll get it going. It'll become a thing that we're workshopping. We'll
By
workshop
November of 2023, we'll have that.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
We'll get
It'll
it down
take
to you.
18
All right.
episodes of Bout of Radness, and
We'll get it.
by then we'll have a new.
It'll be
intro.
workable by then.
Right.
Okay. So,
Sorry.
you're all good. Before we begin, just a content warning for everybody out there. This is one of Scott Dorward, in his own words, this is one of the nastier scenarios that he's written. So just an FYI to everybody, there will be lots of body horror and there will be animals in peril. So if either of those are a particularly big concern, please just be aware that that is, in fact, coming up.
That's right. Doesn't Niles have some sort of itchy mold something
He does.
going on?
It's on his cheek, right?
He is going to be the
Yeah.
He
animal in
has since
peril.
wiped it off. It is no longer
Sure,
there.
that always works.
Especially in the Scott
definitely didn't
Dorward
get in
game.
his blood.
I know Scott
It doesn't
Dorward
matter.
scenarios.
I'm
you
just
brush them
excited
off.
to be here. I'm just excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here too.
Most of Scott Dorward's scenarios you can fix with dish soap and water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be okay.
Oh, yeah, you are.
It's almost like Evolution the movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Love that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let us have a quick recap before we begin. So we start off on the 24th of September, 1923, and it is a rainy day in August when our group of investigators were called together at at Professor McTavish's office at Arkham, Massachusetts. He informed them that a Professor Rhodes was missing and that he needed him to be found. School was in session. He didn't have enough people to cover the shifts. He didn't know where he was. The last time he'd heard from him was about 3 months ago. So after talking with Rhodes and finding out who the 3 grad students who accompanied Rhodes on this trip along with his wife, our group of investigators went and met with one Walt Gehrig, who showed them all of the hospitality that the insane can show and love, as he was doting on his sick mother, who our investigators later discovered wasn't there. And then Niles decided to perform the tea and managed to splam himself in the face, which is when the aforementioned patch of mold decided to hang out on his face.
Perform the tea.
Perform the tea.
It's a
This
good
was,
friend
of
here.
course,
Perform
after
the tea.
Niles also managed to flip a car and injure every single person in the party. So everyone was easily amused.
It was a good day for Niles. It was a good day for
very
Niles. He
good
had a
day.
good time.
Hang the
At
banner,
1,000.
Niles.
Like the tower.
So once they managed to get done talking with Walt Gehrig, they went and talked to another of the grad students, Agnes Soames, who informed them a bit more about what was going on, and they actually trusted the information that was coming from her, so they paid more attention. They learned about nightmares that all of the group seemed to begin suffering from. They lasted about 2 or 3 days, and then they disappeared.
That's right.
Along with a couple of farmers that were causing problems for the group, the Carmody brothers. And she mentioned also that the Jarvie farm, which is located a little ways outside of Blackwater Creek, was a safe place in which they stayed for a couple of nights, while things were getting a little rough. And finally, she mentioned that it was very bizarre that the professor bought dynamite from the local goods store. Now, one of the bits of information that Walt had given the group was that there was a primary dig site that was found outside in a dry creek bed. And so as they eventually found another vehicle and managed to make their way up there in order to, begin investigating what was going on, Niles, of course, looking for any and all excuse about any misappropriation of funds or misuse of funds, decided that it was imperative that they investigate the dig site. As they were getting out to investigate, they met one John Merritt, who informed them that some weird things were going on with the livestock in and around Blackwater Creek. Disease, infection, there seemed to be a higher level of intelligence going on, as if the animals knew what was going on and understood it, which was particularly bizarre and troubling to him. In addition, there hadn't yet been a birthing of calves, pigs, anything that had lived through the process. They'd all come out, and most of them were covered in some kind of fungus. That was particularly bizarre. Our group then went down and dug up these 3 trenches that they found, and Niles found a set of bones that seemed to have odd protruding growths coming out of them. No idea what they were or why they were there, but they were there. So,
didn't I find something too? I can't remember what.
You found
Vincent dug something.
Probably an arrowhead, I believe.
That sounds right.
Sounds right.
You could have said anything.
I did that in kindergarten too. That was fun.
You found a Teddy Ruxpin?
So cool.
Yeah, that sounds right.
With the cassette still in it.
For those of you younger, just Google it. It was something we carried around long ago.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, though, that you noticed about the bones was that they were blackened, and this wasn't a normal thing. It looked as if they'd been scorched or burned, which was particularly odd. And that is where we left our last session of Blackwater Creek. So, as of now, from what I understand, you guys all head back to the cars. You load back up into it. Niles is not driving. I believe Vincent is taking the wheel and forcing someone to be in the seat next to him.
That is not Niles.
That is, yeah. And you drive into what you can only imagine to be Blackwater Creek. Now, calling this place a town would be the overstatement of the millennium. On your count, there are 7 buildings total to this town. As you look around, you see what looks to be an old church. That seems to be over on your left. Directly ahead of you also seems to be a schoolhouse. And then over on your right, in the middle of the set of buildings, appears to be kind of a general goods store. There are 4 other shacks that kind of surround this area. As you drive in, you see a group of young kids. They look to be about 7 or 8, running through the streets, dirty, filthy. One of them's got a jar, it appears, and they're excitedly looking at something in the water.
And this is West Virginia, right? Is this the area?
This is Massachusetts.
Oh.
Those aren't even next to each other.
Way less couch burning.
That car wreck did a number on Niles.
Yeah, it did.
For some reason, I
Niles
thought we were in
is
West
fun.
Virginia. in this scenario, just with the hillbilly theme. But
I think that's a different podcast.
That is a different podcast. Wes, was there something you were going to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wanted to see if I missed a building, because I have, out of 7 buildings, I have 4 shacks, a goods store, and an old church. Was there one I missed?
Schoolhouse?
A schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse. Thank you.
Schoolhouse down. This appears to be almost like a, for lack of a better word, it's a big circle, and around this circle, this like basically flat dirt path are these buildings that are just kind of scattered about. Several of these shacks kind of look abandoned or in misrepair. Over on one side, there's a slightly nicer looking shack, one of the biggest in the group. There's an old man in a rocking chair going back and forth. He's got a tin cup that he's taking sips out of as he watches you all approach, with a hunting rifle leaned up against one of the posts of his house. And that is basically everything of interest. This is Blackwater Creek proper. And you imagine that general goods store is the store in which the letter that you received from that you saw from McTavish that came from Rhodes, that must have been where it was mailed from.
Interesting. Do we know? Will we happen to know where the dig site is? Do we know? Do we have like a map or some sort, or would we just were we?
You knew where the
some directions.
You knew where the primary dig site was, which was that area outside.
The one we just went to.
Cool.
Right?
Why are we in Blackwater Creek?
Because you have not found the professor yet.
We need answers, damn it.
Okay.
We've got to know what happened.
Graduate.
And I think, gentlemen, I feel as though we might as well proceed to the general store if you are in agreement.
Absolutely. That's where we got to go. We got to find out if he sent that letter from there. See if they've seen him lately.
Wow, Astro, it's almost as if you were told that.
Yes, we all hear the same voice in our heads. Now let's move on.
The narrator.
Of course. Well, all right. Well, then, I guess we'll make our way to the general store. Then.
All right. So you get out of the car, and as you open the doors, the first thing that strikes you is the smell. Now, I mean, we've all been around. We've all been to cons. So let's first start there. Chuck immediately knows where this is going.
I actually haven't, but I know where you're going with it.
Oh, yeah. So one of the first things is when people don't take care of themselves and wash on a regular basis, there's a kind of smell that kind of builds up around them. And this city kind of has a little bit of that stank, for lack of a better way of describing it.
Smells like crotch.
It smells like unwashed gamer guy.
Oh, okay. So fucking crotch.
Is it like the hamper of clothes, like when you didn't bring your gym clothes in 7th grade?
Oh god,
that guy used to sit in front of me in the Texas basketball game.
I think
I'm so sorry.
From here on out, we can just refer to it as the Blackwater Reek.
Okay, so there is something unique to this smell, though, that's a little bit different. Bye, Chuck. You guys were all kind of prepared for this. You knew you were going out in the middle of basically backwoods. You knew this was going to be the kind of thing that you. But there's another scent that kind of lingers in the air that's a little different. It's kind of like the sickly sweet scent of rotting fruit, but it's just on the tip of your tongue. Like as you step out, it's almost masked by the stank, but it's just there underlying everything else that you're smelling. As you dadgummit.
That's Messina Hoff brand.
Oh, shots fired.
Thanks, potential sponsor.
As you guys also step out, the other thing you notice are those children that I was mentioning earlier. You hear the girl. There's a little girl sitting there holding a mason jar, and the mason jar doesn't have a lid on it, and she's screaming, "Go get another one! Go get another one! Dang it!" And the little boy is going, okay, and running as fast as he can out into that dry creek bed, and he's digging in the dirt with his hands.
Can we see what is in the jar?
Do you walk over and talk to him?
What's in the jar?
I'm not going to approach the child, no, but
from your vantage point, you really can't tell. It seems to be a jar full of some kind of liquid.
oh, okay. Does it have 3 X's on it?
Does it? No, it does not have 3 X's on
The
it.
kids aren't drinking moonshine.
Okay.
It's not a cartoon.
Just I was just wondering.
It's way less harmful.
Is this a like, what is it? The Emmett Otter band sort of thing?
The what?
No?
Is that something I need to Google?
Emmett
What?
Otter? Nobody knows the Emmett Otter band? Okay, never mind. This went over y'all's head.
I,
Sorry, go
okay.
ahead.
Oof.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. Continue.
we're the ones with the problem.
All right.
Yes.
You guys get out of the car. Are you headed into the general goods store?
I am.
I
Yeah.
am.
Vincent, Atro is. Niles, are you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going as well.
Okay, so all of you head into the general goods store. Now the thing about the general goods store is it's again not a particularly big building. None of these are particularly large. But what this guy's parent, because as you walk in, you see the gentleman who's older, probably in his mid-60s, and he's sitting behind the counter, and he sees you all come in. And as you come in, you kind of scan around. You notice just about everything you could potentially think of that a backwater place could possibly need: boards, planks, hammers, nails, feed, corn. It is all piled in this very, very small general goods store, and it is just stacked on top of each other. And it's like when you go into I just went blank on the name of it. A thrift store. Thank you. Thank you, brain, for working. A thrift store, and they've just piled stuff in rows, so it's very claustrophobic feeling.
Radio
It's like my
Shack.
dad's garage. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's basically what this place feels like. And as you walk in, he turns and looks at each of you and goes, "What do you fuckers want?"
Hail and well met.
Oh, you one of them university folk.
Yes, we are.
Wait, say that again.
Oh, you're more than university folk.
Yes.
Here to spend money and make me buy weird shit.
Well, no, actually, I'm here to on official university business. Here
You're an official man.
What was that?
You got lots of forms to fill out.
Perhaps.
I
Yes.
left the city to get away from all that shit.
Then no, I don't.
Oh, excellent.
I'm here on official university business to check for misappropriation of funds for the professor. Do you have a receipt or proof of purchase of the dynamite that was sold?
No, it went with the professor.
Good.
The professor bought it.
Do
he
you
made the
know
money.
where the professor might have taken it?
Well, that was about a couple of months ago.
When was the last time you saw the professor?
Oh, must have been 2 or 3 months ago. All I know is he came, bought a bunch of supplies, went back up out in the mountains, and about 2 or 3 days later, we heard some blasts out.
Approximately how much was this dynamite?
Oh, why? You want to order some yourself? We'll need to see some green.
Perhaps, but university official business, official. It's official. It's super official. Please tell me.
Oh, good. It's official business, huh? So you came with university money, right? So you're gonna buy something, right?
Yes, perhaps.
Excellent.
I'm gonna just like look around. Like, what's the first thing I see? And then I'll be like, that.
You see a big bag full of corn, and
That
another
one.
bag next to it full of wheat. You're going to buy the bag of corn. So when I
Cool.
say a big bag of corn, I really need to. I
Buy
need
all
you
the
to
corn,
understand that this is like
Howard.
the kind of bags of corn that farmers would buy in order to seed fields.
Mhm.
So this is about 60 or 70 pounds of corn. Or is that what you're
Ask
buying?
him if it's gluten free.
Yes. Is this corn gluten free?
What are you talking
If
about,
so,
son?
if so, I'll buy it.
What is that shit you talking about?
Gluten
what
free
is corn?
corn. That's right. This is I should stop listening to the voices in my head.
It's a trick question. It's all gluten free. It's corn.
Right.
Now listen,
It's
this
like a wheat-based, like wheat.
I expect $10 for that bag.
That's a little bit more than my than the university will allow me to spend, which is
Well, that's unfortunate.
yes.
What are you rest of you folks? You're all university?
Yes,
Why you
in
here?
a
Why you here?
manner
say
of
that.
speaking.
Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier that you heard some explosions.
Jesus Christ, most of you would fit in around here quite nicely. He says as he looks across all of you who all have great appearance scores.
Oh yeah, that's true. We're
Oh yeah, we're ugly as shit.
It's good. We'll
The
just blend
ugliest
in with the
crew ever.
locals.
blend right in.
you
No one
know.
remembers. Everybody remembers Brad Pitt. Nobody will remember
Everybody-
that we were even here.
Oh, you know what?
Everybody remembers.
I know what
the
you all
shimmies.
need. I know
You
what I need to freaking look at y'all faces. Yeah, give me a second. And he reaches down and he picks up one of those a very different kind of looking mason jar. It's black on the outside, and he opens it up, and the smell of whiskey, of nice strong whiskey, kind of fills the building as he takes a sip of it. Ah, mighty good stuff. Now, whew, a face only a mother could love. Now, what did y'all need?
you were mentioning that you heard some explosions.
No, that's correct. Up in
Could
the
you
mountains.
tell us specifically where those were coming from?
They're up to the north somewhere. Up out in the mountains, out in the forest. I don't know,
More
some of that
than-
way.
Okay.
Listen, we're in the mountains. You realize that those explosions cause all kinds of weird sounds to happen, right? They echo and such.
Sure. Yeah.
Misappropriation of explosive material.
How much did he buy?
A crate.
A whole crate? How
About
many-
20 sticks.
20 sticks.
Now, if you were to approximate the amount of destruction 20 sticks of dynamite can do,
What do we know that?
Listen, son, I don't have any idea how much you could do with 26 dynamite, nor do I care. The man
Probably
paid for
more
it,
than
paid
10
for it in bulk,
sticks.
and I didn't really give a damn what he did with it afterwards.
okay.
Well, interesting as this conversation is, I think that I will be. Is there like anything interesting in the shop that I could see on first glance, or like
It's your run of the mill basically supply store out in the middle of nowhere. It's got a little of everything, but nothing really stands out because what he sells is to the local farmers and to the local families. So he's selling to fishermen, farmers, craftsmen, and that's what this is primarily geared towards. So you see a lot of crafting tools and things of that nature. You do also see a couple of hunting rifles, and you imagine he's probably got some ammo somewhere. And he just pulled out a bottle of clearly bootleg whiskey, which probably informs you that he probably sells that as well, if that's something many of
Right.
you are interested in. But other than that, not really.
well, Niles kind of eyes the guns and says, how much for one of those sticky things?
He stares at you. You from the store, city boy? Are you from the city?
Yes, I am from Boston.
You ever fire a gun before?
Maybe.
What do you pull to fire a gun?
My leg. Anyways,
I'm not selling you a gun. I don't want to get shot. And I don't want to be responsible for you shooting yourself.
Well, okie dokie then. It's been nice talking to you. Well, actually, is there a doctor in town?
Doctor?
Yes. Perhaps someone of medical science?
We ain't got no doctor around here.
Interesting. All right, great. Well,
could you tell us where the Jarvies live?
The Jarvis.
Chuck flexing his notes.
If you keep following this road, you turn left and you go up, you'll see the cornfields. And then you'll see cornfields and wheat fields over on your left. And then you'll see pastures over on your right. You keep going. You'll eventually run into the Jarvis farm. Can't miss it.
Thank you kindly. I appreciate your help.
Now, if none of y'all busy gonna do business around here, then I better get back to running my shop.
Do you have any jerky? Some beef jerky?
He looks around. Yeah, I got some jerky.
Let me rephrase the question. Would you happen to have enough beef jerky to get me from here to Oregon? Maybe enough wood that I could ford a couple rivers. Maybe some ox out in the back.
I love
Looking to dive up this entry?
It's one of those type of stories.
I'm hoping not to, ideally.
I got wood and lumber. You'd have to go talk to the Jarvis about maybe buying some cattle if
All right.
things have gotten any better. And
That's-
yes, I've got enough jerky to get you from here to Oregon.
All right.
It'll
Well,
cost you
I
about
want
$20
for all of it.
for everything I got in the store.
What about like one package?
One pack, about 15 cents.
All right, I'll take one of those. Just something to nibble on.
All right.
Perhaps the university will also be able to pay for this. And Niles will pull out his own personal wallet and look at it and look into it. There's nothing and kind of closes it back. Never mind. The university is clear out of funds.
Just expense it later.
Yes. The university will expense it later.
We'll be
of course.
dead by then. Who cares?
Yeah.
He passes you
Just
a
mail the
pack
bill to the college.
of no name brand jerky. It's basically jerky in a bag. But you
All right.
you imagine that this jerky is really quite well made. If
Yeah, some backwoods.
Yeah, there you go. If it doesn't have a brand on it, then it's got to be good, right?
I'll
Or
support
it's
that.
going to be
I'll
really
support
bad. There's really no two
Bad
ways
for-
about
yeah,
it.
well,
Let's say a guy wanted to get some jerky, some whiskey, some rope, and one of those rifles.
Feeling adventurous, son?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, and he looks over. The rifle, the whiskey. He goes over. He looks at you and goes, "Which way you point a gun, son?
I'm sorry? Say that again?
Which way do you point a gun, son?
At what you
North.
intend to kill.
Okay. Which side of the gun do you point?
East.
The one with the hole.
Excellent. I'll sell you a gun." Yeah. Listen,
I'm in
son,
college.
I had to check after the last guy because that guy scared the hell out of me. You don't need no gun. You don't need no gun.
Yeah, he don't need no gun, but I'll take that gun, that jerky, some rope, and some whiskey.
All right. And he goes and he hands you. He gets everything together. He looks over and he goes, "That'll be $7.50."
And I pay you.
$7.50.
And I am down to $2.50. No, I have $20 in cash. I just have a $10 spending level. Okay.
This is
means that-
1920.
Yeah.
Holy, it's like $100.
Yeah.
Better be some
Cool.
good shit.
I just realized I've been
We
playing my
got a
character.
gun.
I've been
That's true.
playing my character pretty damn well. It has low intelligence, high education. I'm pretty happy with myself.
Was there anything else you'd be needing? I hear some crazy stories about this place.
About which place?
This place.
This
You know,
store?
that professor come in yelling and raving about Cade's rest. About
He ever
Cade.
send a
Wait,
letter
Caves,
through here?
Yeah.
Caves, what?
Did he find
Big
Kate's
dress.
rest?
I don't know. He was telling some wild story about Cade, though.
About Cade himself.
Well, yeah. He found a confession.
I'm sorry?
He found a confession from Cade himself. Very
Really?
exciting. Yeah, he's telling me all about it. You want to hear?
Well, yeah, dish.
Is that a historical artifact I hear that the university should be in possession of, but is currently being held by one of its professors? I hear. Is that what I'm hearing?
Niles, not now. Excuse me, sir. I think we've got to talk about these juicy deeds. Tell me more.
Listen. I don't mind talking to you. And he motions to Vincent, he motions to Atro, and he motions to Colin. But you need to leave. You creeping me out. You killing me, man.
Yeah, Niles, wait for us. Well, not in the car because I'm keeping the keys. Just go. Why don't you go talk to those children and see if you can help them find snails or whatever they were doing?
Of course. Yes. Well. All right.
That's good, lad.
I heard they were stealing snails from the university.
Where?
Might want to go investigate that.
Now, sister, let's dish.
So, you want to hear about the wild stuff about Cade's Rest? Apparently, this place used to be a town. It was,
This place used to be a town?
This place
You're
used
not
to be
in here, Niles.
You've left.
It comes in through the back door. So it used to be a town, huh?
Yeah, it used to be a town. Quakers came out here, to settle. There was this weird tribe of Indians came out here called the Black Oak. Apparently, Cade and the Black Oak, because Cade was leading, of course, the settlers, the Quakers. The Black Oak were fine and all dandy and everything, all good to go together. They were helping each other out. They were doing great things. And then all of a sudden, one day, Cade's son dies or is mysteriously injured. They don't really know which. But he takes it to the Black Oak. And the Black Oak say, hey, we can help him out. So they take him. Apparently, they take him into some cave or something. It was real sketch back then, man. Real sketch. And listen here. The thing about it was Cade's son came back. Only he was ranting and howling about weird things in his head, things whispering to him, saying all kinds of weird shit. And of course, Cade's like, what the heck's going on? So he went and he asked him, hey, what the hell did you do to my son? And of course, he went and he followed them into the cave. Now they don't know what happened. But apparently Cade came screaming out like a banshee bat out of hell. And
and it was very alarming. I mean, I don't blame the guy.
But he left. He fled. He was gone. Nobody knew where he came from or where he went. Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Where did the professor find this confession?
He didn't say. But that's not the end of the story. See, the end of the story is much more interesting. See, the thing is Cade was gone for a couple of months. He came back. And get this, he came back with friends.
Oh.
They came back with gunpowder, and they came back with fire, and they came back with all manner of machinery and weapon to rain hell. And they burned this entire valley to the ground, killed everybody in it. And that's why the Black Oak disappeared. And that's why there is no records of this settlement being here, because Cade came back and destroyed it all. Or so they say. They don't know whether or not it's meant to legend. But it sounded like a good story to me.
So let's hypothetically say we found some bones outside of town that looked like they may have been in a fire at some point. That pretty much tracks, huh?
Man, I don't know. Listen, the thing about it is, it could all just be bullshit. In fact, most of the time it is. Indians were famous for cremating their dead back in the day, So it could just be that you found an ancient burial ground and now you're all cursed and you're all going to die.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No.
Like happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go at some point, man.
We've all seen Poltergeist. We understand.
It's
We
gonna be
knew
very
what we were
exciting,
getting
though.
into.
Very exciting. Make sure to document it well so that when we find your bodies, we know how you died, which vengeful spirits came out.
That's why we brought the other guy.
Ah, perfect. Is he your first sacrifice?
He will be. Yeah.
Human shield is, I guess, the best word for it.
Excellent. He's gonna make for a good meat shield.
Speaking of which, we should probably go see what he's gotten himself into and
while they've been talking,
how many cars are there in this town to destroy? Just so that I have a count.
Yours?
Okay, just the one.
Yes.
But did Niles look at the car while he was outside?
I don't know. So let's actually talk about that. Niles, you step out of the store and you hear kind of the jabbering and commotion going on from inside the store from Baxter. And that's his name is Baxter. And this is Baxter's General Goods. You step out and you see one of the kids carrying a particularly large worm running back to the little girl who's holding the mason jar full of liquid. What are you doing?
Can you describe the particularly large worm?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I just like kind of?
Well, okay, so for
glossed over that.
Well, yeah,
Niles. For Niles, has Niles ever been fishing?
I mean, sure, why not?
It's okay, like so
Niles, this is a decent sized enough worm that would catch you something bigger than a little small fry.
All right, well then, can I is it worrying or is it just kids playing with worms, which is pretty normal?
I don't know. You tell me.
When I look at this worm, is it like a spawn of Satan worm, or is it like, oh, that's just a regular old worm that I see dangling from this kid's hand?
This is a worm that this kid just dug out of the ground and looks to be a normal worm. This is not, in fact, worm spawn Satan.
So if I spot hidden the worm, I'm not gonna like see fangs and teeth. And
if you spot hidden this worm,
you're inside, so you can't tell.
Yeah, I'm the one. So if I were to spot hidden, would I see fangs and teeth and whatever?
I don't know. You could give me a spot hidden roll and find out.
Cool, I'll do that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Now make a power roll.
Roll.
No, don't worry, that comes later.
That's a failure. So no, I don't see anything.
It's a worm.
Wonderful. All right. Well then, I guess I'll kind of go walk around the town because I don't have anything better to do. So it's a little town, and I'll just go ahead and walk. I'll walk by the kids, and I'll go ahead and push the roll and see if I can.
Yes.
Get a better look at this worm.
Okay, explain to me exactly how you're pushing this roll.
Well, okay, do I have to make it more dangerous
to push
the roll, or is
so
can I just change my course of like I'm actually going to go walk around the children who have the worm so I can get a better look at the worm?
So you're going to approach the children, is what I just heard, basically.
It's going to end up.
No, because that sounds more dangerous than I care to get in a Call of Cthulhu game. So
what could go wrong with approaching the children?
Yeah, they're children. What are you talking about? Go approach the children.
You're a grown man. Approach some children.
And if you don't approach the children, I'm approaching the children.
Fine, I'll approach the children and I'll push. I can't,
And that's how we egged him into his second death.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to walk over. No, you cannot push the roll, but you're going to walk over. And as you walk over, you get there at about the same time that the little boy excitedly gets there and drops this worm into the water. And as you're walking
can I see what's happening to the... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
you were going to describe what was happening to the worm in the water.
Exactly what I was going to do. The little girl glances over at you briefly before excitedly locking her eyes back onto the mason jar as both the little boy and the little girl kind of crowd around it. And as you approach them, you can kind of see the worm and it's wiggling around. And then you notice something else a little odd. No, there is not a face hugger in the water. But you see these kind of, as you get closer, you see these kind of floating little white flakes that are kind of drifting in the liquid. And as the worm kind of lands in the water and starts to wiggle, they go from floating there to massing, as if moving all in one direction and surrounding. And the worm begins to thrash faster and faster and kind of wiggle as these weird white things kind of collapse on top of it and then just encompass it and almost create a shell around it. And then as the worm, or where the worm used to be that is now surrounded by these white flakes, kind of drifts down in the water, all of a sudden the white flakes kind of disperse and the worm is gone.
So I'm gonna walk over there and be like, well, hi there, kids. What's going on over here? What y'all doing?
It's magic, sir.
I gotta
Have
say,
you ever seen this magic? It's pretty exciting. Go get another one.
Magic? Can I? What exactly?
It's magic water.
Magic water?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Does this happen?
Have you never seen magic water before?
I haven't. Is this a thing here in this town?
I don't know. We got it from the dam.
It's in the thing, like the water, like it's in the mason jar.
The water is in the mason jar. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like going to like some like puddle and like dropping a worm in there. Okay.
No, they dropped it in the mason jar.
Okay, I missed that.
I feel bad because I had the same image in my head.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so wow. Okay, you got it from the dam. Where's the magic water from the dam? Can you guys? Is it close by? Can you guys show me?
Yeah, it's up the creek bed. There's a dam up there. Don't you know?
No, I'm new in town, so.
Why are you here, mister?
I'm looking for smart people who are doing bad things with money that's not theirs.
So does that make you a smart person?
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
They sent you to find the smart people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did send me to find the smart people. That makes me smart. Yeah. I'm a smart person.
You are giving off like huge stranger danger vibes. I agree, Ziggy.
This is 1920s. This is before stranger danger, but okay.
That is correct, actually. This was before kidnapping was a big deal. So at this point, kids could go up and talk to random weird adults, and it was considered perfectly normal.
Yeah.
It's before you heard about kidnapping being a big deal.
Well, if Niles kidnapped somebody, I guarantee you this scenario is going to go off the rails real fast.
Niles is the one that will be kidnapped. I mean, let's be honest.
That seems more likely.
He is the one who knocks.
Niles just walking around
trunk
like,
trying to get out.
I love free candy.
Oh.
Well, so where is this magic water?
Oh, if you just follow the creek bed up.
The creek bed, okay.
Yeah.
Is this the same like creek bed where we kind of saw the bones?
Yes.
Okay. Blackwater Creek. Yeah, would make sense, wouldn't it? So, well, thank you for showing me your magic trick. That was very cool. That was very neat.
No problem, mister.
Yeah. Well, you kids have a good day.
Bye.
Well, actually, would you mind showing my friends here as they walk out?
And you guys are exiting, and you see Niles sitting there excitedly talking to the little girl. And Niles looks up and motions for you guys to come over to surround this dirty little girl holding a mason jar full of mysterious liquid.
Having seen those white things, would I have like recognized those as like what was on my face?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. However, Niles, that does give me a good point to do this. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a spot hidden roll.
Spot hidden is not great. But that's a success. It's a 19.
So as you guys have been talking to this little girl, one of the things that you notice, Niles, is that that sickly sweet scent of rotting fruit seems to be a bit stronger as you're talking to her. And she kind of
is it like coming from her?
And scratches at something in her hands. And I mean, she's dirty. She's filthy. It looks like she hasn't had a bath in weeks. But her hands come up and they're slightly blacker around the nails. And as you look up kind of near the hemline of her dirty dress that she's wearing, you see these odd little black boils that seem to kind of go up and around the hemline. And as the little boy runs back with another victim, another worm.
Black boils on the skin?
Yes. And as the little boy runs up and you kind of have an idea of what to look for, he opens his mouth and he says, I got another one. And as he says that, you notice that there are these same kind of little black boils, very fine, hard to see if you didn't know what you were looking for, but they're in his gums, the gums of his mouth.
Did I see this before I called them over, or is this while they were walking over?
Basically, you called them over, you looked over at her, and that's about the time that you begin to notice these fine details.
So you kind of, y'all watch, he's kind of like a playful, like, yeah, show me, like, show me the cool magic trick kind of smile. As goes, kind of falters and goes, okay.
What's wrong,
y'all kids want to?
Is everything all right?
No, everything's fine.
Oh, do you want to try some of the magic water?
No, thank you.
Yes, do that.
Do it. Come on, Blanket, do it. It's magic. Yeah.
No, I'll be fine. Thank you. Do you want to show my friends the magic water though?
Oh,
that's a weird sentence.
Yeah, it is. They look. She looks over and goes, "They're kind of scary. Why are you with the scary men?"
The scary men. Oh yeah, Vincent, go away, please. Atro, you too. Colin, come look at the.
Vincent instantly turns around and walks away. Like, fine.
Colin's harmless. Colin looks harmless. He just isn't fun to look at. Neither am I. But I'm more of like skinny, frail, unappealing, and he's more like regular, unappealing.
Generally unappealing.
Yeah. So
unappealing, but you really can't like put your finger on why. You just kind of like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to show my friend here? He's also a smart man.
Well, and she looks over. Yeah, drop it in. And she drops, and the little boy drops another worm into the mason jar, full of that mysterious liquid. And once again, you guys see the exact same thing happen that I described before. The white flecks kind of swimming around and consuming this worm.
Have I ever seen anything like the white flecks?
Give me a natural world.
The world's tiniest piranhas.
Vincent, where are you going while this is happening?
Natural world.
I am still within earshot. I literally just turned around, like, whatever.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a strong 10. That is a 23. So nope, never seen anything like this before.
Man, it's weird. Unless, of course, it's worth 3 points of luck to you.
That would be 13 points of luck. And I was luck spending luck like crazy in the last session. So I think I'll
keep rolling.
Should I push it, everybody?
Push the roll,
of course.
Oh yeah. So how are you going to push the roll? Are you?
No, I was kidding. I don't want to do that. Not for this one. Not for this one.
Just down the whole jar in one swig, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna swish it around my mouth a little bit just to see if I can taste what it is. No, I'm not going to do that, actually.
All right.
I'd like to take some of the jerky that we just purchased, like just a little strip, and drop it in.
Interesting.
That is interesting. And as you drop it in, those weird little flakes consume the jerky as well.
So they're not that weird after all.
I know.
Everybody wants jerky.
Yeah, I mean...
Stick your hand in, Niles.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, have any of the kids tried sticking their finger in there?
Yeah, are they drinking it?
I don't know. Are you asking Atro?
You're saying
I'm asking the children if they've drank this water yet.
They're scared of you, Atro.
That I look at my gun and ask them again.
Is that an intimidate?
Yes.
Are you like being like, I will shoot you if you don't tell me?
Yeah, my dude is an asshole. Absolutely. Like, he's
give me that intimidate roll.
Oh, fuck, Atro.
Threatening little kids?
Yeah, what can I do?
Find out if they drank some water.
I want to know. That shit's scary.
Give me that intimidate roll.
All right, hold on.
You have to push it. If you don't get this right, you have to push it.
I'll do what I want. Why don't?
Oh wait.
What?
Here. There you go. Go ahead and roll.
All right, hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm real good at this too.
Who are you?
No, I would fail that. I didn't intimidate at all, and I'm not pushing because I have 15 intimidate.
The kids don't really understand that you're threatening them, but they don't like you, so they kind of just
they don't even understand that you're threatening them. That's how bad you are.
That's fair.
They just look over and go, and turn back around.
Mister?
This guy's just a jerk.
Atro just hangs his head and goes, "God damn it."
Why is a smart guy like you hanging out with a scary guy like him?
I don't know.
He doesn't actually go here.
That was an extremely well delivered line.
Well, thank you so much for showing us your magic trick, and
thank you. And then I'll turn him around
Vincent,
and we'll walk the other way.
Vincent is actually going to turn back around and he's going to say, excuse me, children, do you have a lid for that jar?
Why would we have a lid?
I was just curious. Would you be willing to, say, trade for that jar of water?
Ooh,
we have some beef jerky.
We do have beef jerky.
What do I want beef jerky for?
I mean, it's delicious. I don't even understand the question.
I get beef jerky from Dad. Why do I care about your beef jerky?
Oh, is this your dad's store?
We're not giving the kids the gun.
I could give you 10 cents each for that jar of water.
Mm.
Ooh.
What is that in 1920? Inflation.
Who knows?
It's like getting in early on
like
Bitcoin.
It's more money than either of these kids. They take one look and go.
10. That is, what is that today? That's $1.34 today.
That's still enough to get them some candy in the general goods store. So they look over at you, Vincent, and go. And then this girl holds out her grubby little hand.
Does it have black
Still giving
boils?
you the side eye.
It has black boils?
No, it does not. But it is coated in this weird black kind of goo.
I'm a man of my word here. I give them a dime each.
She looks at the boy. The boy looks at her, and then they just kind of set the jar, the open mason jar full of mysterious wormy water, and run to the general goods store and run in.
Colin, would you mind doing me a favor and going back into the store and acquiring some sort of container that we can close for this
Most
jar?
Most definitely.
Because we are absolutely not walking
I'm
around
not
with
touching
this
this.
open mason
No.
jar.
So, Vincent, well, I do know
rolls, so little time.
Vincent, I do know where we can get free of this water. But, I guess that was very kind of you to give those kids 10 cents.
Yeah, why not? Sorry, I'm the only one that wasn't trying to shoot the children.
I didn't try to
Fucking
shoot
10
it. I
cents,
implied
good.
that I might think about it.
It's about the
That's a lot better.
implication.
You know what? That does make it a lot better.
Here's
you know?
the thing,
I
guys.
specifically left out children in peril because the scenario doesn't call for it. I really should include that because you guys are going to lead into that one which way or the next. Clearly,
I'm just saying.
I am not going to kill the children.
I'm over here.
He's gonna think about it.
Yeah, he's gonna consider it.
I'm over here catching flies with honey instead of vinegar, and I'm sorry.
You don't know my heart.
Solutions. Now, like, can we just assume that Colin went and bought a mason jar that had a lid on it or something?
So, unfortunately, Baxter only has mason jars that are filled with whiskey. So you guys could drink a mason jar full of whiskey.
Ooh.
And you know, you guys could split it 4 ways. It shouldn't it shouldn't take that long.
I want to pour a little bit of the whiskey into the water.
Ooh, I like where his head's at.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So as the whiskey kind of
it's a mixer.
We're experimenting. We're smart people.
So you guys are sitting there kind of crouched over this jar. Did one of you pick it up, or is it still on the ground?
No, it is still
on
the
still
ground.
there.
Your 4 grown men kind of bent over this jar.
Pouring whiskey
And the guy in the guy on the porch,
my
the guy in the
jerky.
porch
I'm
is
not
on his
gonna,
is on
pick
his
it up.
Yeah, by the way, there is still this guy rocking back and forth in his chair, sipping away at his tin cup. Just
That's
going,
fine.
Are we about to do
City
piranha
folk.
bombs?
That's fine. I don't care about that guy.
That looks like what you're doing.
How many lives here?
You pour the whiskey in, and the water kind of overflows a little bit out of the jar as you pour it in because it was full.
I didn't. I just want to do like a little.
Oh, a little drop.
Not like half and half. Just you know.
I love that
This is-
Zeke's curious concoction has made it into like 6 different streams.
This is Zeke's most curious concoction.
All
We
right,
are
so we
extremely curious.
Formula 3.0. Not enough to overflow the water jar. Just
Just
a
a
little
couple of
splash.
drops. It kind of dissipates in, and there doesn't seem to be much of a reaction at all. The water has kind of changed hue a little bit, but nothing else really.
Would
Okay,
anyone like a
then I'm
pull
gonna
of
keep
this?
going.
Would anyone like a pull of this whiskey before we pour the rest out?
I would.
Oh yeah, sure. Pass it off to them.
I bought some whiskey, but this isn't the whiskey, so
No, I paid for it, so that's fine.
Anybody else?
I'm not having any. Vincent,
I'm an official.
I'm
an official university business, and I'm taking this job very seriously. So I will not be drinking on the job.
What are you, a
tell
cop?
anybody.
Oh.
Vincent doesn't drink.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys drink it. It is really good. This is the best whiskey that either of you have actually ever had.
Ooh.
It is.
Maybe he does drink. No.
Got that really bold, really strong flavor. It's not weak by any stretch of the imagination. This is the epitome of bootleg whiskey, though.
Barrel proof.
The only odd thing about it is that at the very end, after it's gone down, it's burning just a little bit. You just get a little of this aftertaste, and the aftertaste tastes just a little bit like that kind of smell that you've been smelling throughout. Just a little hint of this rotten fruit. this sickly sweet rotten fruit smell.
This is the creation. This is the creation of Malort. This is the beginning of Malort.
It's like a very bad daiquiri.
Are they distilling this from the dam? Where this fucking water comes? Good lord!
No.
All right.
That's sort of what Niles had in mind. I was like, where are they getting this water? It's probably this magic water that I don't want to drink.
Well,
let Scott
assuming you guys are done with your whiskey drinks and your vodka drinks,
get out of here.
Vincent is going to go ahead and pour out the rest of that whiskey and very carefully pour the water into the whiskey jar so that he can close it and seal it.
Are these like the same jar?
No, they're
different sizes.
Yeah, they're different sizes.
Oh, okay.
The one that you got looks like the kids kind of found in a ditch somewhere, more or less. You'd imagine. These ones seem to be
it's a ditch jar.
I don't have a lot of experience shopping for jars in ditches, so you'll have to forgive me.
Do better.
Understandable.
Yeah, be better.
I'm sorry.
Stop
I apologize.
Fuck you.
So
apologize better.
But you're not rushed. You're taking your time, Vincent. So this isn't anything that requires a roll.
Good.
And you pour.
I'm gonna shake him while he does it.
Oh, excellent! All right, let's get some rolls going here. First, I want to know how Vincent's gonna kill Niles as he splashes his water all over him.
We're gonna say Niles didn't do that.
Yeah, we're gonna say Niles didn't do that. So, what are the rest of you doing as this is going on?
Watching, just kind of looking around, being like, "What other weird shit's going on here?"
Well, you've got the guy who's still sitting there, just kind of slowly creaking, just watching y'all.
I'm just assuming that's old man judging us, so par for the course.
Squinting at you. Yeah. Other than that, it's quiet and mostly deserted right now. You arrived late in the day. The sun's starting to go down. It's starting to get dark around you. And as you look over at this, there's really nothing else going on. There's really not much activity in and throughout the town.
Is there a place to eat so I can get this crotch taste out of my mouth?
It's not crotch. So okay,
you've got the rotten fruit taste.
The rotten even fruit then, taste. It wasn't even that strong. It one of my cats. It was so when you're sipping on whiskey and you. What did you? I don't know what he knocked over.
Cat.
Yeah, he is. And you get all the the flavors that are left over after the liquid's gone down, and you get that lingering taste. So you get all of these really strong flavors, but as you guys are paying attention because you're enjoying the whiskey, you notice just a hint of that after flavor that has a little bit of a taste like that kind of sickly sweet rotten fruit smell, but it goes away almost immediately.
Okay. So I'm not just standing there. I thought it was just kind of pacing around going like, nah.
So basically you're a sommelier for whiskey at this right now.
Got it. Yeah.
And you have hints of crotch.
Hints of crotch.
He said there's no crotch. So
there is no crotch in the water. At least not yet.
That we know of.
But
there will be.
I just haven't put my crotch in the water yet.
That's it.
There you go.
In the water.
So what are you guys doing? You now have a sealed jar full of weird white flaky water.
Put that in your weapons cache right there on the sheet.
So I'm gonna put it in my little leather Indiana Jones-esque satchel that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking it with me.
You should.
Cool. Alrighty.
Well, let's go ahead and go find the professor. Do
we have a good idea of where we're going next with that?
The Jarvis?
I don't know where the hell you're going.
I think we go towards where the explosions were.
The Jarvis seems like a good move.
I think the Jarvis.
I am going to remind all of you that it is starting to get dark. So if you would like to walk through the forest in the middle of the night, not knowing where you're going.
No, drive through
more than
I don't see a problem with that.
Drive through it. Oh, yes. This is car number 2 going down, baby.
So there's no road.
I'll drive.
You're saying there's no road to the Jarvis.
There is a road to the Jarvis. So what you got from Baxter,
Chevy Chase movie.
That you could hop in your car, you could keep going, and there's going to be a side road that you can turn off on, just a little ways outside of town. And if you just keep going down that road, you'll notice corn and wheat fields on your left, and then pastures for grazing on your right. If that's what you see, then you're going the right way. And as you drive up, you can't miss the Jarvis farm, but you're going to dead end into it, is what he told you.
Okay.
I don't like how you finished that.
Is what he told you.
Yeah, well, that's what he told you.
Look, I know.
He could have bullshitted the entire thing.
I think that we're going to go drive to the Jarvis unless y'all have a disagreement.
That sounds good.
Yes. I have no voice in the matter. I'm just sitting in the back.
That's right. No.
All right. So you guys hop back in. You drive through the rest of town. and you turn off on this dirt road with absolutely no signage whatsoever. You would not have known that this was a road that you could necessarily take if someone hadn't told you. But as you drive up, sure enough, you've got grazing fields off on your right. And on your left, it's really quite interesting. So as you're driving along at the wheat field, you notice that there's already, this is again in September, so the harvest has already happened. But you see new growth coming in from the wheat field already. And as you drive up and keep going, you notice that the corn seems almost incredibly tall, 12 to 15 feet tall stalks rising up out of the ground.
That explains the 10-pound bags.
It was, and that same smell, that same slightly sickly sweet rotten fruit smell seems to just continue as you drive along.
Cool. Well, y'all, I'm not particularly comfortable around here. This isn't my, my comfort area. Perhaps we could ask the Jarvies. That was the kind man who stopped in the road and kind of talked to us, right?
No, that was John Merritt, who was veterinarian who operates out of Dunwich.
Oh, great.
Which is about 2 or 3 hours away.
Okay, I'm lost. Anyways, perhaps the Jarvies could offer us some housing? Lodging?
Yeah, some lodging.
Perhaps.
That would be my hope as well.
An evening with the Jarvies.
You say that way, it sounds ominous. But I don't feel like it would be that way. So let's do it.
All right.
Sure.
So you guys drive. So you guys continue to drive up. And ironically enough, I can actually describe this almost verbatim because I drove past a place that I imagine looks very similar to the Jarvies farm, driving around Nebraska. So
I believe it.
I believe it.
Yeah, that all tracks to all the rest of us.
I've driven up there, and that tracks.
So as you drive up, the first thing that hits you actually is a smell that kind of, if you've ever been on a farm, you know the smell I'm talking about, and it is the very, very strong fermented scent of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, you imagine pig and cow shit. But there's another smell, the smell of smoke. And along with it, there's this really solid smell that's coming from, and as you look up and to your right, you see a bonfire that is roaring to life. And as you drive up just a little bit closer, you notice that there is a tall man, about 6'2", grizzly white hair coming down, and he's got the kind of sunburnt skin of a man who's made his living out in the fields, and he is standing in front of it. And on that big bonfire are basically stacks of pig carcasses, and that is the roasting kind of pleasant smell that you're smelling. That's momentarily washing away the smell of shit.
Still in the car. So this is the person we want to spend the night with?
They're roasting a pig?
No, they're stacking carcasses of pigs.
So yes, they are roasting a pig. Just
multiple.
A lot of them at once.
A lot of them at once, and not the kind you want to eat.
They're doing it in batches.
Sure.
Meal prep.
Bacon's good eating.
They're keto.
Exactly.
As you continue to drive up, you look over to the left and around, and what you see is you immediately can figure out that there's a very, very nice farmhouse. It's red roofed, looks to be well taken care of at the end of kind of this clearing just after the bonfire. You see a couple of other little shacks that seem to be run down to the right of the farmhouse. To the left is what looks to be a chicken coop and a big kind of a shed that looks to be where he stores his cattle. Behind it seems to be what looks like a barn. big wide open area with a barn with big hay bales that seem to be laying out there. And then kind of in between where the farmhouse and the hay barn is a big kind of field that is fenced in. And you see a particularly big boar running around inside of it along with some sow. And that's where you'd imagine the pig shed is. And you see an outhouse just a little behind the farmhouse. And behind that is where the smell that is assaulting you seems to be coming from.
Somebody had Taco Bell.
But you all drive up and park your car and get out.
Do they acknowledge that we have arrived?
Oh yeah,
Right.
The man comes over and approaches you and goes, "Pleasure to meet y'all. What brings y'all out here to Blackwater Creek?"
Yes, I terribly sorry for just showing up unannounced so late in the evening, but
No problem at all.
we're looking for a compatriot of ours. We believe you may have some information. We're looking for Professor Rhodes.
Oh yeah. He stayed with me and Edith. Very nice folk. Happy to have them. Happy to have them again if they ever seem to come by.
Well, we are actually with the same university, looking for them because they happen to be missing with quite a bit of funding.
Oh, are you really?
Yes. So
Quite a bit of funding, huh?
Yeah. According to my booklet here, I am assuming yes.
You're one of them university types, huh?
Yes, I'm at the research. I am with the research ethics committee.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's quite an important position. But I am a smart person. It's yes. Would you happen to know where exactly Professor went?
Let's see. It was about 3 months ago is the last I saw him. It was we heard some blasting out in the hills. And that's the last he was here for a little bit. Having problems with them comedy brothers. Sad lot, but ultimately harmless as long as you back down.
Interesting. Anybody else have any questions?
From where did you hear those blasts out in the hills?
Oh man, my hearing's not what it used to be, young fella. Not good much beside my eyes, and even them going. He says as he kind of wiggles his spectacles at you. But it seemed to come from the north side, up in the mountains. That's about all I could tell you.
Interesting.
About how many explosions were there?
2 or 3.
Huh. Well, is that curious question. I am investigating this, but since I am an investigator,
oh boy,
what exactly did the water, the magic water, happen at the same time as the explosions?
Magic water. You're gonna have to go over that again. I'm not one of you learned folk.
I think he means the water from the dam.
There isn't a dam.
It happens to. There's no water coming from it.
That creek bed's been dead for generations, son. Who told you there's a creek?
That building's been closed for 40 years.
Vincent, would you happen to show him the water that is from the dam?
Sure. I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, let's break out the horrifying thing.
Yeah.
You say that there's not been any water in the creek for years?
Well, I have evidence that proves you wrong.
Objection.
Objection.
Maybe we should have gone and looked at that in retrospect.
Who told y'all that there was water from a creek?
Goddamn bully of kids.
Yeah, these kids that were really bullying us, they sucked.
And you believe them kids?
Well, I'm a trusting type.
He just kind of looks at you and gets this amused grin. Oh, book smart folk, huh?
Oh, well, explain this. And then we drop a piece of jerky into the water.
Well, that's the damnedest thing. How'd you do that?
I didn't do
well, that's some of that book smarts, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that.
Library use.
Illusions,
I
Michael.
wanted you to say that, Chuck.
No, because I'm hoping to stay at this guy's house tonight.
He looks at it and goes, well, that's the damnedest thing, but I ain't never seen anything like it around here.
Yes, it is quite a curious concoction.
You say you got this from them kids?
Yes.
Yeah, some kids in town.
Well, I wouldn't trust anything them. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but
street urchins.
And they're listening to Slayer. Something about.
But
hopped up on goofballs, all of them.
Yeah,
maybe.
The pool hall. It's the pool hall. I tell you, it's the pool hall.
Reading Slender Man fanfic.
But well, I appreciate the information. We do.
You're doing great, Niles.
Thank you. I need that. I needed that, Acho. Thank you. You're the first one who's ever told me I have done a good job. I appreciate that.
Sincere praise.
So, Acho, I'm starting to like you. Well, Mr. Jarvis,
man, Niles is so gonna die a horrific death, and it's not going to be because of something else. It's going to be because of these three.
I'm not going to kill Niles. I try not to kill my fellow players.
Mr. Jarvis,
guy with the gun.
Mr. Jarvis, would you happen to know of a place where we could spend the night?
Of course.
Lodge.
And he looks up and he gets actually kind of happy. It's a bit expensive, but if you've got $1 to spare, we'd put you up for 2 or 3 nights if you need it.
So we declare home base.
Well, the university funding that I was given is quite low. Would one of you happen to have some funding from your inspect?
Can I set my Hearthstone to here now?
Oh.
Yeah, we can give him $1. Does somebody have $1? Because actually,
I got $1.
I don't have a ton of money.
I'm confident that we're gonna find my stepfather, and I'm gonna get that money because I've changed my last name. I'm gonna go ahead and throw down $1 for us to stay for as long as we need to.
So he graciously thanks you. And Atro, it strikes you as the reason, because you're so good with people. He seems unusually enthusiastic. And then you realize that those pig carcasses that John Merritt told you they were having to put pigs down because of this disease, that's his livelihood. And the fact that he's having to burn means that he's probably having money issues.
Right.
So we can flash some cash and really get this guy to do whatever we want.
Pretty much.
So
do a handstand.
Y'all can play.
Just pegging him with things.
Do the whole Thriller video from memory.
I'll say flank steak.
Okay, so we're now staying at his house.
Right.
We have a jar of mystery water, possibly given to us by spooks or specters of children We didn't get any confirmation that those children actually existed, and that we didn't just
make them up.
Just see them.
You're already hallucinating. Congratulations, you've already fallen into my trap as the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no, thank you. We appreciate the lodging.
Of course.
What exactly? If you don't mind me asking,
Will is just trying to keep everybody on path, and it's just really working hard.
Very, very funny.
That's a hilarious.
Digger smoking. That is pretty funny.
I drank that for $1.
All right, sorry, Will. Go ahead.
Just I couldn't help but notice the burning heap of carcasses. What's the deal with that?
What are you signing? Are you working on your Type 5, Jerry?
What's the deal with these burning pig carcasses?
Those pig carcasses. What's the deal?
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, so sad fate. That sow over there has been just given birth to a litter of stillborn, and growth started. Just sad."
When we look at the pig carcasses, do we see anything interesting on them?
Most of it's basically blackened mush at this point. It's a hot fire. You're not standing particularly.
They typically are that way.
But this one's burning a bit. He knows what he's doing, and it's
burning pig fat.
Yeah,
it's just like raging.
I'm sorry. What
was like bacon?
What was Jarvie's first name? Did we catch it?
Malcolm.
Excuse me, Malcolm. Would you say that sow? Oh, I don't know how to put this exactly.
Looked at me funny.
Looked at you directly, like he knew you and knew what was happening.
Yeah, but no, it was really bizarre. Because it was real disconcerting. Really wasn't a fan.
A lot of that going around.
Oh yeah,
Professor potentially messing around with GMOs.
Well,
were GMOs a thing in the 20s?
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
sure.
I didn't think so.
How do you define GMO? I don't know.
Oh, I meant for us to pick up some water at that general store so that we weren't drinking the local water source.
If it makes you feel any better, it's a freshwater well. Nothing.
It doesn't.
Here, I'll and he actually draws up a bucket and hands it to you.
Yeah,
interesting. I'll take some of that jerky and throw it in there real fast.
The jerky
it's our test jerky
in the water, and nothing happens to it. But he does look at you really, really funny and goes,
"I like to flavor my water."
Good recovery.
I know that's good.
He's trying to make up
water.
It's the latest thing in the city, that meat water. It's really something.
He just
I prefer it to be sparkling usually, but
right.
He looks out and goes, "Well, that's your water for the night."
I'll
be sure to flavor your water cups with some jerky.
Just his.
Absolutely.
Just his. All right. So you're the meat man.
Guy.
Got it.
Perform the meat water.
I think he's the only one from Boston here. So
put your meat in the cop's water.
Anyway.
What?
Put your meat in the cup's water?
The cop's water. He's like he's a university cop.
I was like, what? Oh, I thought you were taking a dig at cup for a minute there, and I was
no, not yet.
Although knowing his culinary taste, that's probably something he's done.
He would deconstruct it for sure.
Yeah, deconstruct the meat water.
Does anyone else have anything they want to talk to this guy about?
I don't.
If you
no,
We just pulled out a fresh apple pie. We could get away from all this nastiness, and
I do still not sure I trust the local food and beverage. Yes, I believe we will. My compatriots here said that they were quite hungry.
Well, how long did you cook that apple pie for? At what temperature do these little white things die?
I've never seen them white things in my life, son. We got room for 2, but 2 of you gonna have to be out in the barn. Is that all right?
Not it.
Not it. I paid for it.
Will and I had our fingers on our noses first. So.
No,
I gotta say, the person who paid probably gets first dibs.
I'm staying in the house.
So I'm with the university. You're a college student, Colin.
Yeah, Colin's definitely staying.
I probably slept in a barn after a night of the drinking in the fields anyway.
I'm taking Vincent with me.
All right, we're staying in the house.
So Niles and Colin are out in the barn. Excellent. All right.
Well, can I actually, before we go, and are we gonna have dinner with him, or?
Oh yeah, we'll be more than happy to set you all up. We got a good home cooked meal coming. No meat on the table, unfortunately.
It's not pork chops, right?
No meat, unfortunately.
Can I go see the sow real fast before we go to dinner, or is it too dark out?
It is burned to bits.
The sow?
The sow that was on
that was in the giant
bonfire.
Oh, I thought the sow was still alive. The one that gave birth.
No, he was saying he had to kill it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It was diseased.
Would this disease happen to have black boils?
I don't know. Give me a natural world.
Well, I'm asking him.
Oh, I'm not any learned folk. I have no idea.
You didn't see it?
I don't know what disease it is.
You didn't see like any what were the signs of the illness? You just took it for word that it was disease and killed your source of income?
No, sir. It had some kind of growths on it. It was leaking this black stuff. And the piglets came out. They were, they weren't living. At least some of them weren't. And the ones that weren't living came out covered in this kind of black fuzzy fungus. Weird growth-like stuff come out of them. No clue what's wrong, but she is clearly diseased.
When I look at his hands, does he have like boils on them or anything?
No. Nothing.
It's under his shirt. It's just, but okay.
Take your shirt off for $1.
Do it.
For $1.
Oh, please. We're gonna have some company. Let Edith go. And as he calls over, you look over, and there's this scraggly, for lack of a better word, skeleton of a man. He looks ancient. I mean, 80s or 90s, but still moves relatively well. And as he walks over, he goes, "Rrr," and then spits. And he's chewing something in his mouth, and as he spits, it just this phlegm just splatters across the ground.
Is it black?
Have you ever seen chew before?
Yeah, dude.
It's like brownish.
Yeah.
It's like
a connection.
But
everybody's dipping in this town.
it's title of my memoir.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm looking at my player sheet. And I do know history. Would I know the history of this land? Sort of, kind of, or could I ask him like, "Hey, excuse me, sir. You seem to know. You seem to be one that's been around the block. Would you happen to know the history of this area?" I'm trying to understand what, Mr. Jarvie. I'm trying to understand what exactly the professor who stayed with you was looking for around this area.
I'm not learned, son. I was born and raised on this farm, and I will die on this farm.
There's nothing that no stories, no legends of the area.
And people say all kinds of shit about this town. I decided not to pay attention to it long ago. You could roll me a history roll, Niles, if you would like to figure out some information about Blackwater Creek.
History. Boom. Tell me everything.
All right. So Blackwater Creek, you know, to be particularly interesting and particularly famous for being absolutely nowhere. It's a small, tiny town in the middle of my computer, which is brand new, and I just set it up yesterday. Just made a funny sound at me, so I'm sorry for that. But it's a town out in the middle of nowhere, about 2.5, 3 hours outside of Dunwich, as you already know. The interesting thing are the myths and legends that kind of surround old Massachusetts. And I will actually give you, for that extreme success, a handout.
Hell yeah.
For you to read. Did that show up to you all? No?
Not yet.
I hit show players and nothing happens. I love it.
Handout
Is this
one.
it? No,
which is the letter.
No.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right. Well,
I think you have to open where your sheet would be, and there's like characters and then handouts. So it's like in that little bubble in Roll20. If you click that, then you can click handouts.
Well, we shall give.
I still only see handout 1.
Yeah, I just had the first one.
Oh,
yeah,
this
this is the interesting stuff.
Here we go.
I don't have the second.
There it is, number 4.
Oh, yep.
Boom.
We missed 2 handouts.
Oh no.
Guys, we might not be good at this game.
What?
That can't be right.
One less sinister and undoubtedly less puzzling mystery of the Miskatonic Valley is the fate of Caged Rest. I'm going to basically... You know what, sir? I actually do know a thing or two about this valley. Perhaps this might jog your memory. One less sinister and undoubtedly less puzzling mystery about the Miskatonic Valley, blah, 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 blah. Historical records show that following the hanging of Mary Dyer, blah, 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 during persecution at the hands of Puritans. This group was led by none other than the tailor Ezekiel Cade, and including many of 10 other families. After some months of travel, they settled by the banks of the Miskatonic River, not far from the spot that would later become Dunwich. While records from this point are scant, the folk stories hold that probably you have heard the settlement thrived once, and Cade and his followers made contact with local Indian tribes known as the people of the Black Earth, where the tale turns to folklore, though, is in one of the demises of the settlements, the one closest to, well, here. Some stories have the earth opening and swallowing the settlers whole, and others tell them being snatched away by the devil himself. Even the more mundane details are contradictory. I'm going to assume this is around dinner. We're just like sitting down and eating dinner. I'm like,
not yet. You're still outside because you're walking up down the steps.
And others saying that even the buildings have vanished. Given that these mentions of Cade being spotted in Boston a few years later, though, the most likely explanation is that the settlers simply just moved again. It's the same thing with Croatoa, right? Where, possibly there are people possibly spreading rumors of the disappearance themselves to secure their privacy, and alternatively, they may have
Croco what?
It's another settlement.
I think he means Croatoan.
So not far from here.
The Croatoan?
Croatoa. Croco, whatever you said.
Is it far from here?
I don't know. Virginia? You're the learned folk.
Yeah, it's in North Carolina.
I'm asking out of character. Is it in...
No, it's North Carolina.
Is it North Carolina? Okay, well. No, it's quite a whiles away from here, but it's an interesting story. Alternatively, they could have come into conflict with some of these Black Earth tribe and been killed. Regardless of the truth, the legend is a minor one at best, though, but it is one that is important to this area.
It sounds fascinating, young man.
Yes.
It
all just came into my brain, and
is that what you get into them universities to learn about?
Cool story
about old place like this out in the middle of nowhere.
The history is fascinating, sir.
I'll take your word for it, son. Well, come meet Edith, my dear wife. You'll meet some of the hands. We'll eat a good dinner and take a night. And he walks up and kind of opens the door and motions for y'all to enter. And you enter a very, very nice, solid cabin. And in there, it's actually nice and fairly spacious. The table is laid out with a nice hearty meal, and Edith is busy fussing around. She's pulling out 2 pies, these 2 apple pies that Malcolm told you about. And Edith is a nice, round, plump, hearty woman. She's got her white hair up in a bun. She looks basically like everyone's favorite grandma. And she turns around and goes, "Oh, I didn't realize we were having guests. Oh, this is so great. Oh, will you be staying long in Blackwater Creek?"
Hard to say.
I mean, we have a couple dollars.
We're here for as long as we need to be here.
You know.
Oh well. I've been. Who will be staying here and who will be staying out in the barn? We got plenty of blankets for those staying out in the barn, so it'll be nice and comfortable.
Well, I'll be staying in the house, so if you could show me to my quarters, that would be fantastic.
Oh, okay. Of course. So you two will be staying out. I'll take you out there. We'll set it up and make you all nice and comfortable, and then we'll have a great meal. And she takes you up.
Can I have the gun?
No.
All right.
Good talk.
Fair enough.
You were in the store when he wouldn't even sell you a gun. You don't get the gun.
No. She takes you guys up and opens it up, and it's a nice, it's a nice room for what you'd expect. The mattresses are filled with goose feathers, so that they're actually fairly nice, well-adorned room. Going outside, she quickly takes Niles and Colin and shows you to the barn. And the barn, again, is filled with these hay bales, and they're large enough that they'd actually make relatively suitable beds. So what she does is she takes this nice thick blanket, and she coats 2 of these hay bales with them, and then takes kind of like these ornate pillows that she seems to have stitched herself and places them on top, followed by another blanket.
Kind of you, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely. We're always happy to have guests. And she takes you all back.
Bless you. Bless you, ma'am.
Vincent and Atro, can you actually give me a
sneeze roll?
A spot hidden roll.
Hidden roll.
As you guys are up in the room.
Oh, me?
Vincent and Atro, yes.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Only if you are Vincent.
Ooh. What did I roll?
90.
I got a success.
It's a character sheet thing.
Vincent, you decided to step out. You saw where you were. You threw whatever personal effects you had on the bed, and then you walked out. Atro, it strikes you that of the people who went on the trip, the grad students would have been the ones staying outside in the barn, and Malcolm and your stepfather and mother would have stayed in this room.
Right.
And you quickly take a look around just to kind of check things, and you notice something interesting. Where the rest of the room is clean, there are a couple of pieces of discarded paper in the waste bin.
One of them is a will. It says, all of my things to not Atro.
We scratch out not.
And you walk over and you see that you see your father's writing on these scraps of paper. And you pull out this guy.
Ooh, a handout?
Yes, sir. That would be number 2.
I love getting a handout. All right. It says, My dear McTavish, I wish I knew where to begin. It appears my suspicions were correct, and Blackwater Creek is indeed built upon the former site of Cade's Rest. I've discovered artifacts that give every indication of an early colonial settlement, and this is crossed out, and remains which that is crossed out. There is so much more here, though, so much more than I'll hear my mother sometimes. I know her voice. She's dead, but I hear her. And that's all scratched out. The cave is not just a myth. Cade tried to bury it, and this is scratched out. But she is there, and she never died. I have procured some dynamite, and I aim to open up the cave as soon as this damnable storm ends. And the rest of this is scratched out. Even the wind sounds like her. She needs me. I must free her. God forgive me.
Perfectly normal.
And this is the letter that you find, Atro, for you to do with as you wish.
Are you going to share that information with me? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Okay.
Because it's too fucked up to not tell everybody. I think at this point it's starting to get between the white piranha things in the water and hearing these stories and seeing the pig carcasses and the boils and now this letter, I'm starting to think that
we're on X-Files mode.
Yeah, this isn't good.
X Games mode.
So you all, you step back out and go into the main room, and you sit down for a hearty meal, or however much of a hearty meal Vincent eats, because I believe Vincent was talking about not eating at all. But it's corn and fresh biscuits, and it's all of the meals that you would normally see out in a farm.
Nebraska vegan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nebraska vegan. But as this is going on, if everyone could give me spot hidden rolls, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Nope.
Hell yeah. I can see everything.
Will, how come every time you roll, it rolls 4 dice out there?
Yeah, Will's rolling some mad bonus die.
He's going crazy.
No, actually, it does. I've checked it. It's not bonus die. For some reason, I don't know why it's doing that, but
it is rolling bonus die.
It's not. Because sometimes it's the...
Alex, is that a success?
I can spend 4 luck.
Do you want
to?
Do
it.
Yes.
100%
gonna spend 4 luck.
So we have 3 successes on the table. So let's say that each of you notices something different.
Rolling with...
So hold on. Niles, were you a success?
I was a hard success.
Excellent. I'll let you notice the fun thing then.
Because he's rolling 4 dice.
Well,
he's rolling 4 dice.
It's not.
All right.
It's easy to win when you got 5 aces.
It's always the low score of whatever the combination.
It's not though.
Niles, because it shows up on the right-hand side, which is why I trust it, because I'm not looking at the dice that actually roll on the screen. I'm looking at that.
See, it's an 85
on the right. So, anyway, so Niles, as you're sitting there, you've got the couple of farmhands, you've got Malcolm and Edith, and they're eating. Everyone's eating, and you see that guy that he called Old Pete, who's just chewing away on his chew or whatever. And this goes on for about an hour, and you notice that as this is going and as this guy continues to spit, that at no point during the meal does he ever actually put anything in his mouth. Atro, You, being the guy that, keeps a kind of an eye out on the area that you're in and the people that you're around, notice something interesting about Miss Edith. Edith, as she's eating, she suddenly reaches up every now and again and starts to rub her jaw, particularly around where your wisdom teeth would be. And she just kind of rubs and rubs at it and kind of tries to stretch her jaw out a little bit before she goes back to eating. And Colin, you're keeping up a kind of going conversation with Malcolm. You two are talking about this and that. You notice that he keeps squinting, and he'll take those glasses off, and he'll squint a little bit and try to focus his eyes before he puts his glasses back on. And this goes on throughout the meal as well. But
these people are falling apart.
But the meal goes on. There's nothing else particularly exciting at the moment, and it just goes on. What do you guys continue eating? What do you want to do?
You hungry, sir? I mean, I've seen you haven't touched the meal. It's mighty delicious. I make sense now. No teeth. Got it.
Malcolm. And he kind of grins at you, and that's when you do see his teeth. Only his teeth are streaked black. Like black like tar.
Yeah.
I snoozed once.
Y'all not going to comment on the other stuff? Okay. Cool.
I want to ask Malcolm what they've been feeding the pigs.
Anything
different?
Feed. No,
same
nothing.
Feed as always?
Nothing changed. Nothing different.
Have you tried free range corn?
Free range
cage-free corn.
Cage-free corn.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's the new
Is that
thing.
a thing?
A lot more.
Well,
I'm from Los Angeles, so I don't know.
The corn we get's from Baxter's, so I imagine it's cage-free. It comes in a bag.
Are there any children in this corn?
And the corn, son?
In the corn or of the corn or?
No, we don't see much kids.
Children
now,
preposition corn.
There's a farm about 3 or 4 miles down. Yeah, that family's got a couple kids. They come in town every once in a great while. Why?
Is everybody's livestock dying?
Well, John tells me that everyone else is having problems. It's a recent problem. It hadn't been but last couple of months. It's been a big issue.
Have you noticed anything else that's happening other than the livestock dying?
Not particularly. I'm sorry, son. I'm truly an uneducated individual, and I wish I could have been more help.
Well, this isn't about your education. This is just about how you're living. Noticing what's going on. Is there anything different?
Other than things started to die or get covered by weird shit. No, not really.
This all happened after the blasts?
He sits there and he thinks for a minute. It's been the last couple months, so yeah, it happened after a blast, but it was a while back.
Would I know? Happen to know if what being a learned man, education not smart but educated. Would I know if there are any chemicals that are underground that could be other I've heard a history of mining towns opening up something and poisoning the water.
Give me a natural world or chemistry roll.
Somebody poison the water hole.
What would this be? I don't have science.
Do you have library use?
Natural world, I guess.
I've heard of it in history.
Natural world.
So close.
Ooh. Oh, you roll 2 dice and suddenly they're not that great.
Real weird how that shit works.
No, you have not heard. Actually, that's a crit fumble. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. This gets fun. No, you think you've heard of this, and it's not a problem with any water or anything. It can come up every now and again, and it's carried by a couple of insects or mosquitoes, but it normally blows through. It's nothing that anybody consumes or eats that potentially spreads this disease.
After explosions in caves?
You don't think that the explosion in the cave had anything to do with it. You think it was just this stupid bad luck.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. These things happen.
Oh, something you heard about in them learnings of yours?
Well, yes. Have you ever heard the story of Moses?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think it was before that.
And
Vincent just stands up from the table.
Oh, you all done, sir? You look like you hardly touched your plate.
Well, suddenly I'm not that hungry.
Well, if I don't see you, son, you'll have a good night.
I think I'll retire as well. Thank you so much for the food.
Oh, y'all have a problem at all. It's a pleasure to have you. I hope you all sleep well. 10 will be in the morning. It'll be breakfast and grits. Hope that's all right with everybody.
Atro says that's perfectly fine and grabs a biscuit from the table and holds it up and says, I'm just taking this with me. Thank you so much.
You all have a good night. And you all retire to bed. Do anybody do anything else? Or do you all go to bed?
I'm going to turn over to Colin and say, these are actually kind of comfortable. Surprisingly, I saw this and I was like, there's no way, but
it's almost like people have done this.
Which one
for
of y'all
of years.
Is the little spoon though?
Well, it's 2 beds.
They are on 2 separate hay bales.
Are we?
So
I don't know.
Maybe
a wild
started
night
that
like
way.
Lucy and Ricky used to have. They could shove those together and.
Let me ask, Niles, did you try to shove these 2 hay bales together to cuddle up with
Colin? Did we?
You want to get some fungus, Colin?
No, we didn't.
I mean, he might have tried, but I would have just moved to a different hay.
Colin just kept shoving his hail further away.
Just pushing it with his
in the
feet.
morning. Everybody comes out and I'm on the roof.
Niles just waits for him before he crawls into bed with him.
Climb up here.
No, I just turn to him and I just say, it's like pillow talk. No, not that. That is as in like sleepover.
That is what pillow talk
you said. Pillow
like
talk.
a sleepover with friends. Like a sleepover with
You're
friends.
talking about
Come on,
bunk
people,
beds.
get your mind out of the
you
gutter.
go back to school and tell people I had a sleepover. Do y'all want to hear what the pillow talk was? That's something you said.
Anyways, I turn over.
Talk.
These hay bales aren't half bad. It's the thick comforter. That's nice.
Okay.
All right then, and I turn over and go to sleep.
Okay. It's like a Christmas story when the kid turns around. He's like, "I like the Tin Man."
Oh yeah. So you all fall asleep. Colin and Atro, you guys have an interesting dream.
Colin and Atro do?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Whiskey.
So
it's a goddamn whiskey.
You all are in a nice, comfortable place back home. You're sitting there, the fire is crackling, you've got a book, or whatever, or however you would normally have spent your time with your family or your stepfather in mother in Atra's case. And your mother comes downstairs and she walks over and begins to run her fingers through your hair, just letting you know, I love you so much. And her arms start to wrap around you and pulls you close. I love you so much. I don't know what I'd do without you. And then those arms begin to tighten just a little more as she pulls you closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to get hard to breathe. And the voice of you that your mother is using becomes more strained and more worried and more terrified. I love you. I love you so much. I don't know what I'd do without you. And her nails are digging into your scalp and into your back, and you can feel blood beginning to trickle down, but you can't move and you can't breathe. I don't know what I'd do without you. I don't know what I'd do without you. I don't know what I'd do without you. And this pitch grows and grows and grows. You can't breathe. You begin to struggle. Her nails are digging deeper and deeper. And you both wake up covered in sweat. At the same time, Niles, ever since you got here, you've heard this heartbeat. Ba-bum. 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 Nobody else seems to hear it. It's almost like a headache, but you've kind of pushed it back into the back of your head. But as you're dreaming, you begin to be woken up by something, only to realize that it's that heartbeat, only it's gotten faster. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And it's getting louder and faster and louder and faster. And as you look up and you wake up, Vincent, you're the only one sleeping well, but even you are woken as every animal on this farm erupts in a frenzy of sound and violence as everything around you just explodes in fear and panic. It sounds like chickens are screaming in the hen house. You can hear the cows mooing in distress. You can hear the sows squeaking and squealing and running and trying to stampede out. Colin and Niles, did you happen to bring a light source with you into the barn?
I was assuming there was gonna be like a lamp in there.
You know what happens when you assume?
You got no light source.
You're fucked.
Out of you and me.
I have a lighter.
Okay, so Colin, do you pull the lighter out?
Barn on fire on accident.
Hell yeah.
So do you light and hold the light up?
Try to drive the barn.
Was there a lantern that I saw? If there was a lantern that I was aware of nearby, then I would have tried to light that.
Kind of brought one with you, but once you guys settled in, she brought it back because they only have like two of them throughout the barn.
Well, first I'm gonna light up a cigarette.
So as you pull this out and light it, first off, before I go any further, Colin and Atro, could you both give me sanity rolls?
Yeah,
because I think that's probably pretty relevant.
That's fair.
And me with the heart.
4.
No, it just woke you up, so you don't lose anything.
I'm good.
All right, yeah, you both don't lose anything. But Colin and Niles, you, as the light goes up, as you pull out your lighter and light it, you notice something else. You notice little eyes reflected in the darkness from the dim light that your light's giving out. And as you hold the cigarette up and you light, Colin, you see these eyes. 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4.
Do I see these too?
10. Oh yeah. And you notice there is a circle of rats that are all staring up at you both, just in a nice concentric circle, completely unmoving, all just staring up at you as you lay on these hay bales.
Circle of wrath.
Please give me sanity rolls.
Needs us all.
What? Make a sanity
Another
roll?
sanity roll?
Yes, please.
Oops. Hey, an extreme success. Damn
And
it.
you roll, damn, dude.
Hold on.
I did that one with only 2 dice.
I failed by 6.
Shut up.
I'm with
That is
Ziggy.
use a point of sanity for me, Colin.
What about? Oh, not me.
You got an extreme success. You don't have to worry about it. But they the rats do not move, even with the light on and everything else. As you're holding it there, they're just staring at you. They don't twitch. They don't move a muscle. They could be statues if they weren't furry and you couldn't see their chest compressing and then expanding as they breathe in and out. Meanwhile, Altro and Vincent, you both hear the sound. So where you guys were set up in the upstairs of the Jarvie farm, just down the hallway on the 2nd floor was where Malcolm and Edith's room were, and you hear the door slam open and you hear footsteps as you can only imagine Jarvie runs outside to find out what the hell is going on.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with him.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think after that dream, I'm going to also go.
We'll get to you guys in just one second. So you two are headed out the door with Jarvie, with Malcolm. Colin and Niles, how do you guys react to these rats?
Also, I would like to establish that if I didn't have it for some reason, I grabbed my gun on the way out.
I also
Colin.
have my gun and a biscuit.
Colin, I'll let you take first crack at this one.
You're so gracious.
No, well, you've been jumping in on everything. Come on, man.
That's why I'm letting Alex have a turn.
So they're not moving, but they're breathing.
Yes, they are breathing, so you imagine they're real. As you look down, you can see they're breathing, but also they're not moving at all.
Can I just take the lighter and kind of, I mean, it's just at the end of my reach, but kind of like wave the flame at them, see if they react?
Not at all. They just kind of continue to stare at you.
Can I flick some ash from the cigarette at one of them? Away from anything that is the most flammable?
Give me a luck roll if you wouldn't mind.
All right. Here we go, boys.
As you are in a barn full of hay, which is highly flammable.
37.
What's your luck?
I'm at 66.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So no, you do not in fact startle the rats, but you manage to make sure that these ash do not in fact start a fire at the same time.
Thank God.
Are there?
Cool.
Is there like a?
It wouldn't be an Ain't Slayed Nobody. Like
I'm waiting
I'm
for you to
just
say
trying
something.
to
if we
Yeah,
didn't
rat.
maybe commit a little bit of arson.
We got time.
Yeah, you do. You
I-
got lots of time.
So okay, is there like a rake? Not rake. What's the thing
Pitchfork?
like a pitchfork that I can like? Is there something nearby? These are also rats. Like they're creepy as shit, rats, but they're rats, right?
I don't know.
They're in a circle.
Yeah, they're in a circle surrounding
Is
you.
it like a
They're
perfect
coordinated.
circle, or is it kind of a rough circle?
You're more.
It's
cool
perfect.
than-
It's a perfect. It's
Exactly
a perfect circle.
perfect. Even
Yeah, cool.
worse.
Is there like something like I can like grab on the ground? Or
Give me a luck roll.
Cool. Where's my luck? Where the heck is my luck?
I don't know. I know you spent a frick ton of it the other
know.
It's
day.
just hard to
Oh, there it
find
is.
on the player sheet. Like,
Nope.
oh,
It's
There
barren.
doesn't seem to be much anything around you
Cool.
for you guys to grab.
I take the pillow and I throw it at them.
And as you kind of throw the pillow,
I support that. That's the
that's
right
a good
move.
move. Yeah.
all of the rats from both circles scatter immediately and just disappear into cracks and crevices throughout the barn.
Just like how I pictured in my childhood, throwing the pillow at the monsters works.
At about that time, Malcolm, Vincent, and Atro, you guys exit the building. And you guys run out, and as you run out, you hear you hear this. And running out of a shed is that man, Old Pete. His hands are up around his throat, and his mouth is gaping open, and it almost looks like something is growing inside and forcing its way out of his mouth. Black pools of this tar-like substance are running down his mouth and out of his shirt. And as he runs up and grabs a hold of one of you, Vincent and Atra, if you wouldn't mind giving me contested luck rolls, I'd appreciate it.
A luck roll?
Contested luck roll.
How do we do a contested luck roll?
I rolled a 44.
It's a roll off.
Yeah, it's a roll off.
Right,
44 against what, Vincent?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Here we go.
Where's my goddamn luck?
It's like the far right top bar.
Oh, there. Thank you. I was looking in the wrong spot. Oh, yeah. There we go. Good job. All right.
Mm-hmm. Atro, so you are grabbed by this man who is coated with this black tar, and as he looks panicked into your eyes, you notice that there is more of this black tar that is running down his face from his eyes. Like tears, but black and nasty, and he just absolutely erupts, and this rotten, sweet, sickly sweet smell as he's like pawing at you and with one hand clutched around his throat. Jarvie takes this in for a split second before he hears boom, boom, boom coming from across the way. He turns, and a look of pure panic runs across his face. And as he looks over, he goes, "Oh no. No. And that's about the time that the walls of the wooden enclosure around the sow pen burst open, and a fully grown boar rushes out into the middle of this farm.
Super.
He looks at both of you and goes, "Run! Run!" before he pulls out his shotgun and begins legging it as fast as he can. So, let's start off with Niles and Colin. You hear screaming coming from outside of the barn. Screaming. It sounds very muffled and almost choked off. And then you hear the sound of probably mounds of flesh slamming into a wooden structure, and that structure eventually giving away. And then you hear Jarvie scream, "Run." The rats have scattered. What are y'all doing?
Are we... This barn, does it have like a loft?
It does.
Are we in the loft, or we're just on the
You're
first
on the ground floor.
I kind of want to go to the loft and see if I can get a vantage point to kind of look outside. However dark it is out there.
You're looking for a sniper nest.
Yeah.
Right.
With me and my nothing. But yeah, that's what I want to... I just want a vantage point.
Niles, what are you doing?
Will, that's you.
Yeah, no, sorry. My mic was... Something happened. My audio. So, is the question, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably what Colin did, because I heard it all. I heard all
right.
Exactly what Colin did. What did you do, Colin?
I tried to go up into the
ran
loft.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
You ran upstairs?
Yeah.
He ran up to the loft and
to go see what's going on. Can I kind of go? Can Niles kind of go to the front door and kind of like peek out and see like what the commotion is?
He's gonna peek out of the barn and go, "Damn, we're in a tight spot." I'm gonna RUNNOFT.
Run out.
You guys have a super "Oh brother, where art thou" vibe going on in this barn right now.
Oh man! All right, so Colin, you run up to get this vantage point, and you open up. Basically, so there's this kind of like internal crane that they use in order to load hay into and out of the building, and you open that up, and as you open it up, you can see Atro being what looks to be grabbed a hold of by this man who was quickly just being encompassed by this black gore that you've seen before. He's just dripping with it.
There's one hell of an anti-tobacco commercial right there.
Meanwhile, you see Jarvie running his shotgun leveled at something. We're going to find out what Vincent and Atro are doing in just a second. And then you look down and you see the doors to your barn kind of creaking open, and you see Niles' head poke out. Atro and Vincent, what are you two doing?
I'm grabbed by the old man, and he's coughing up tar on me. Is he not?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. I reckon I'm gonna shoot him. Like,
you're gonna shoot the man who's suffocating. Excellent. I like it.
I'm terrified. I've just had a mom dream.
The worst.
That mom dream is scary as shit. And this man is now vomiting this stuff up all over me, and I've seen water eat worms. I'm ready to kill. Right. I've read what my stepfather wrote. It's over. I'm gonna shoot him. I've got a bad feeling about it, and I'm doing it.
Give me a second, because we never actually established what rifle you bought. No, and I'm basically gonna make it a straight roll. It would be point blank, except at first it's a rifle. Second, you're grabbed by the guy, so right. Getting the rifle up to actually shoot him is going to be
just kind of wedge it under. Like, if you hear me out, like, depending on how my roll goes, it'll depend on how this goes, right? But like,
okay, so you're trying to execute the man.
The goal is,
pretty much.
I'm gonna wedge the rifle up under his chin and fire it.
So let's see. Oh, those are not the right. Those are not the right. Well, first off, roll firearms. Let's see how you do. Let's see if I need to.
This castle gentle person in the chat is picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah. Like, this guy's gonna die.
All right. Trust doing him a favor. All right.
Yeah. Like, it did. It rolled.
Why are you rolling 4 die, huh?
I don't know, man. Just did it.
So you try to get this,
and I failed.
This rifle up to try to kind of shoot this guy to get him off of you, as he is vomiting this crap all over you. But unfortunately, you are now. He's now no longer the only one covered in this tarry, sickly sweet nastiness. Your hands are a little slippery. You're having problems, and as you try to level that gun and pull the trigger, man, it's just the gun slips out of your hand and it goes wild. And he lets go and falls back in surprise and alarm that you attempted to kill him just now, and tries to scrabble away. And that's about the time that all of a sudden you hear, "Oh!" and all of the sound that he makes stops, and you look, and that growth that was in his mouth is now kind of sticking part way out, and his eyes are bulging, and his hands are now firmly wrapped around his throat. Vincent Natro, if you wouldn't mind at this point giving me sanity rolls, which I believe I forgot to do for you two for this.
I tried to help him by killing him.
I appreciate.
I did not pass my sanity roll.
I'm fine with this.
I don't see your roll.
Yeah,
I don't see your roll, Wes.
I rolled. It's a hard
You just made an
success.
executive decision.
It's a 17 versus a 60.
I see Chuck's, but I don't see yours. I'll trust you.
No, it's right here. Like, I rolled it.
Like,
Oh,
wait.
What? Oh,
there it goes.
It just took a while.
Dude, I don't know why it took so long.
Roll 20 was like, we're gonna think about this one for a second.
Yeah.
So Chuck, if you wouldn't mind losing a D3 for me, I'd appreciate it.
Sure thing. D3, so that just a D6 and then take half of it. So I lost 2.
Mm-hmm. So,
and we're just watching this being cool. Like, yeah, totally tar.
No. You two get to make those sanity rolls as well.
You know,
as you look out.
You just asked the teacher for homework.
Yeah.
I want to lose. I want to die.
Are you gonna collect the papers that we're doing?
God damn it. 33. I succeeded. Why do you get all the cool stuff, Colin?
Alex, please roll me a D3. Which, by the way, there is a D3 function. You can do /roll 1D3 and it'll do it for you. It's not up there, but if you do /roll 1D3 like this,
fun.
It will show up. There it goes.
Interesting.
No, I'll probably mess it up because I'm stupid. So I'll just do this.
Oh, so you would roll. You're gonna lose 3 anyway.
Nice.
All right. Excellent. So, we're all doing well. We're all taking this really well and in stride. Yeah. So now we do need to address, however, the boar in the room.
Do I get to do anything?
Oh, you do. I'm sorry, Vincent. So what are you doing while all this is going on?
Well, I was going to ask. Okay, so there's a boar that came out of the fenced-in pen. Is that what you're saying? Like sort of busted its way out?
Yeah, and it is currently charging with its tusks at Jarvie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so Jarvie is running towards it, right?
No, he's trying to run away from it as fast as he can.
What direction is he running?
Away. He's heading. It looks like he's heading towards the house to try and put some distance. But a boar is significantly faster than an old gentleman.
Sure. And this is just the one thing I'm going to try and do to help before it is 100% me, all about number one.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to attempt to grab like the back of that dude's shirt, the dude with the stuff coming out of his mouth, and fling him over towards the boar.
That's
like your style.
I'm a strong, brawling type of gentleman, and I'm going to see if I can
trying to kill it.
I'm just trying to get a delay long enough for us to get back to the house.
Excellent. All right. So, yeah, you reach over. It's really not hard. The man's suffocating, so he really can't fight you on this. So you pick him up, and he's still slick with this nasty discharge.
Don't say discharge.
I warned you ahead of time.
It's accurate, but I don't like that word.
You're
out of line, but you're correct.
And you chuck him at the boar. Give me a throw roll, please.
That was a good pun. That was an unintended pun.
I was trying to go strength or fighting brawl.
No, this is a throw roll. He's really a big piece of hunking meat that you are chucking.
I mean, really, the point was to get him off of Atro. So the rest
just stands him up and then punches him. Right at the board.
Well, I rolled a 2 on my throw roll.
Yes, you did.
So this guy's
like a fucking
dream successed it.
So, oh gosh.
Thank you, roll
like
20.
A decathlete.
How much does a body hitting something what would be the die progression? I guess it'd be a D4.
How much does a boar weigh? A full-grown?
It's a couple of tons.
Wait,
a couple of tons?
No, it's not. It's
like
300
to 700
Chevy
pounds.
Silverado.
Between 300 and 700 pounds. So this is about like
500 pounds.
Well, a Razorback pig weighs.
Woo Pig Suey.
It's my alma mater. It's about 300 pounds.
Oh no!
So this guy's
Electrical
probably about
engineering,
100,
man. What do you want?
130, 140 pounds, old man. Throwing
Yeah, no, he's like maybe 100 wet. Although he's got about 20 pounds in discharge that's currently building up in him. So
there's a t-shirt. He's got about 20 pounds in discharge.
Building up in him.
Yes.
So you chuck him, and speaking of that discharge, you throw him perfectly right into the pig or the boar, and this gives you ample time to get away as he kind of pops like a balloon. And coats the area in this mist.
pops.
Yeah,
so this is entire body mist.
Yeah.
So no,
and then I just yell
It's
muzzle tov, and we run.
Basically, from about here up, poops
like a party popper.
Yeah, more or less. As the tusks connect, all of that pressure just releases.
All the pressure releases on that discharge.
I would ask for sanity rolls from everybody, please, at this point, because this is probably pretty horrific. As the lower half of old Pete's legs just kind of flop away as this boar is now coated in this gore.
Atro is totally fine with all this shit.
I'm really impressed that Atro, I'm still going to ask you to lose D2. Everybody else, please lose D8. As this is an impressive and incredibly horrific sight. So anybody who passed it as a D2, everybody else is a D8.
I lost 2.
3.
You all lost like around the same amount. It's really quite impressive.
It's true.
But you do manage to get everybody inside the house and the door closed and everybody up on the second floor where you really think that Brutus is not going to be
roll it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wow. Great rolls.
You really don't think Brutus is going to be able to get anywhere near any of you.
I thought you were about to say you really don't think that man is going to make it.
Niles, I do need to ask you to give me a luck roll real quick. Okay,
is that the boar's name?
Well, who's Brutus?
That is the name that Jarvie looks over as you guys basically get inside the house. Brutus ain't never been that violent before.
Brutus the boar.
Oh, I don't think he ever will again.
Yeah, he's kind of currently thrashing on the ground in the middle of this discharge puddle.
Yeah.
4 against 45.
He's really loving that discharge pile that boar is, and I'm just
actually, so Niles, you were actually fairly close to where the pop happened, but you managed to close the barn doors in time to not get splattered by the mist. The black mist that came out of the sky.
Niles is like the Three Stooges, where he just kind of is fumbling around as an idiot, but somehow is getting lucky enough with being an idiot to just avoid everything.
So, as you are
Mr. Bean in this game.
Yes, look up
Mr. Bean. That's the one I'm looking for. Niles Beckett is Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
That black tar that you've been seeing all night starts to kind of drip down through the cracks as it kind of sinks into the wood.
Door?
Yes, sir.
Is it doing anything?
Force of the mist. No.
Like when I look at it, is the heartbeat coming from it?
No, but as another 2 or 3 minutes pass, that heartbeat starts to slow, and Brutus stops squealing. And the farm goes quiet once again.
Shit.
And I feel like that may be a good time to call it. What do y'all think?
I think you might be right. That's
appropriate. Do is sacrifice an old man.
Well done.
All we had to do is explode a little old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
as one does.
Real quick question before we depart. I just wanted this clear before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, does your character have his satchel with the water with him?
It's up in our room.
Shit. Okay.
Well, that's where we're going, or that's where I'm going.
I just want to make sure we have the, death water in case we need to use death water, because I feel like that's going to be the most effective weapon we have.
Oh, yeah. My intention was to throw the death water at the boar, but I guess we've solved that.
Yeah, Tensoon,
in other ways.
What's the damage on the death water? Like, what's
we don't know yet.
Is it like a
You'll
D20
find out about
damage?
That later.
What's earthworm to other being conversion rate in terms of die?
Would you like to stick your hand in the water and find out?
Ooh.
No. I was hoping one of the kids was going to do that.
All right, Niles.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh,
do it.
Good idea.
Coward.
All right. As I warned ahead of time, this was going to be a bit more of a gruesome episode, and I figured I'd warn you all ahead of time. So I hoped you all had fun. We will pick up in 2 weeks for. I don't know whether or not it'll be the finale. It really honestly depends on how fast you guys move, but we shall see. If not, It'll be the finale. Blackwater Creek is always a good time no matter what you do, so I really can't wait. I will ask this, though, before we go any further. Specifically, Atro and Vincent, do you have any scarring or anything on your body that would stand out as an injury?
I've got a lot of ugly.
I specifically said that it looked like Vincent's nose had been broken several times in the not sexy Owen Wilson way.
Got it. Well, as you go up and as things calm down, Vincent, you notice for the first time that you can breathe easier all of a sudden. Your nose, it's clearing up. And Atro, as you look over at Vincent, you notice that the veins and the crookedness is gone. And his nose has straightened up. Vincent, if you wouldn't mind adding 10 to your appearance.
I was going to ask.
He's Adonis. He's Adonis now.
Oh, God.
What can I say, fellas? I'm fucking sexy.
I didn't know you were this sexy until just now.
He took his glasses off. It's a Hallmark movie.
I took my glasses off. I'm the hot chick in the high school movie.
He pulls the scrunchie
I took
out.
my ponytail out.
Oh, man. And on that note, gents, I think that is a good time to call it.
Well,
thank you all for playing. It was a blast, and I look forward to our next session.
Great job.
Our next Bout of Radness.
Wow.
Which by